The girl he'd grown up with, Maya Vance, was pinned against the lockers by the new transfer jock, Chris. He asked her what Leo was to her. Maya's voice was ice, just the guy next door. The jock smirked, snaked an arm around her waist, and pulled her in for a hard kiss. Later, after some party, a girl was helping Leo stumble home when Maya cornered him, her eyes blazing. His friend asked what Maya was to Leo. He echoed, just the girl next door. The new semester at Northwood High kicked off with some major gossip. Last year's star athlete from Riverton, a guy who was supposedly top tier, had to transfer to Northwood to repeat his senior year because his GPA wasn't cutting it for college. During break, a stampede of students rushed out of the classroom. A minute later, Leo's desk mate Ryan stumbled back in, panting. He caught his breath. Leo, man, you gotta see this. The new jock in Maya's class, total strutting around like he's God's gift, shirt practically painted on to show off his muscles. Seriously, his pecs are huge. I swear he's not here to catch up on credits. He's here to pick up girls. Leo, man, you gotta see this. The new jock in Maya's class, total strutting around like he's God's gift, shirt practically painted on to show off his muscles. Seriously, his pecs are huge. I swear he's not here to catch up on credits. He's here to pick up girls. Sounds like the jock's physique was making Ryan pretty jealous. Leo didn't even look up from his textbook. No time. Gotta finish this problem set so I can hit the courts after school. Ryan nudged him. You're not worried about losing your girl, dude? You got the home field advantage, but this guy. Then he shook his head, backtracking. Nah, forget I said anything. With your whole brainy heartthrob vibe plus Maya's infamous Ice Queen routine, she's only ever had eyes for you. No way some new guy turns her head. Leo grinned a little, smug. Exactly. With my charm, no sweat. Maya Vance and Leo were childhood sweethearts. Everyone knew it. Their parents were best friends. They were practically betrothed before they were born. At parent-teacher conferences, if one set of parents was busy, the other would cover for both of them, one in each of their respective homerooms. The teachers didn't even blink anymore. Growing up, Maya and Leo were Northwood's golden couple. Leo jokingly asked her out plenty of times. She never said no, just blushed and looked down. Leo took that as a yes. Maya was aloof, kept every guy at arm's length, except him. The list of guys she turned down was legendary. Handsome ones, brilliant ones, rich ones, all of them. So no, Leo wasn't worried about some transfer jock catching her eye. After school, Leo saw him. Leo was waiting for Maya outside her classroom like always. Her classmates were used to it. Just as they were about to leave, a wave of musky cologne hit him. A guy with a buzz cut stepped in front of Maya, arrogant eyes, a cocky smirk. Maya Vance, we're throwing a welcome party for me tonight. You should come. Maya didn't even glance his way. No time. She took a couple of steps, then looked back at Leo. Leo, let's go. Oh, right. Leo pulled his gaze from the jock, but not before he caught the look Chris shot him, sizing him up with a clear hint of a challenge. On the way home, Leo tried to sound casual. So, that's the new transfer in your class? Yeah. Maya kept her eyes on the sidewalk. What's he like? Leo pressed. Maya stopped and turned to Leo, her expression serious. She said each word distinct. Total showboat. All brawn, no brains. Haha, you nailed it. Leo gave her a thumbs up. Her assessment put his mind at ease. The little locker scene faded from his thoughts. When they reached her front door, Leo paused before unlocking his and called out to her. Maya Vance, let's book into MIT, okay? She turned back, the soft glow of the porch light warming her usually cool, pale face. She nodded, almost demurely. Okay. Every morning like clockwork, Leo would bring Maya a carton of milk. She was too thin and hated eating breakfast. Milk was for nutrients and protein. After first period, on his way to the restroom, Leo would pass her classroom and check if she'd finished it. She'd always gulp it down with a sigh, like it was a chore she had to complete. Today, Ryan and Leo were coming back from the restroom as usual. Leo tossed a peach-flavored hard candy through her open window to remind her. She unscrewed the milk cap and took a sip, but someone else snatched the candy off the floor before she could. Maya frowned. Chris, give that back. Hey, gorgeous, save me. I'm practically dying of low blood sugar here. This candy is my only hope. The guy, Chris, turned with a lazy grin, his eyes meeting Leo's. His smile widened when he saw Leo, but it was just a fleeting glance, like he was deliberately ignoring him. Then he whipped his head back to Maya, noticing her glare. All right, keep it. So stingy. Chris tossed the candy onto Maya's desk, then picked up her milk, asking with feigned curiosity, You always drink this brand? Isn't it good? Give me one tomorrow, will ya? Get yourself one, Chris. Chris made a face. Come on, classmates got to help each other out. You're pretty cold, you know that, Miss Popular? After that, Leo started seeing Chris everywhere. He always seemed to be accidentally around Maya, borrowing notes, needing an eraser. He was like a shadow. Leo wasn't worried about his antics. He knew Maya. The more he bugged her, the more she'd despise him. Sure enough, after a while of pestering her, he seemed to give up. Life for Maya and Leo went back to normal. One day, Leo was explaining a physics problem to Maya through a classroom window when her gaze suddenly shot past him. The calmness in her eyes shattered, replaced by a gathering storm. Leo didn't turn, but he heard a light chuckle from behind him. Chris was laughing about something with another girl, his voice carrying. Chris, the girl in front of Leo, Maya, spoke, her voice tight with suppressed anger. What's up, Maya? Chris looked up, his expression a mixture of surprise and innocence. You need something? Leo watched Maya. It was like he wasn't even there. Her eyes were locked on Chris. The corner of the worksheet in her hand was crumpled, her knuckles white from how tightly she was gripping it. Maya said, You're the only one who hasn't turned in the English homework. Chris looked like a light bulb went off. Before he could speak, the girl next to him chimed in. Oh, hey Maya? I was just checking his homework for him. How about it? Right here, I'll give it to you in a sec. Chris playfully tugged the girl's ponytail, feigning annoyance. Well, hurry up and hand it in before the class rep comes after me. The girl jumped up to swat his head, but Chris dodged her easily. They ran off laughing and roughhousing. Maya just stood there, unmoving, her eyes as dark and deep as the ocean. In that moment, Leo felt something precious slipping through his clenched fist. A few days passed uneventfully. One afternoon, coming back from the restroom, Leo automatically glanced towards Maya's desk. The carton of milk was gone, replaced by a can of brightly colored soda. A jolt went through him. His hand, ready to toss her usual peach candy, froze. His first instinct was to look at Chris's seat. There he was, casually sipping from a familiar milk carton, looking straight at Leo. The tightly wound string inside Leo snapped. He forced down the panic rising in his eyes and turned away. Leo didn't throw the candy that day. She didn't look at him. That evening, Leo was pissed. He didn't wait for Maya. He just went straight home. She didn't try to find him either. The next morning, they ran into each other in the elevator. Leo acted like nothing was wrong and handed her the milk. She hesitated for a second, then took it. Neither of them mentioned what happened yesterday, a silent agreement, maybe. Chris had snatched the milk. He was shameless enough. That's what Leo told himself. But after that, Leo stopped reminding Maya to drink her milk. The peach candies Leo used to toss her, he ate them himself, one every day. Ryan noticed something was off between them because Leo didn't stop by her classroom anymore on restroom breaks. No way, Leo. Did that jock actually swoop in and steal your girl? Is my favorite golden couple officially over? Leo tapped his forehead with his pen. Focus on your studies. Midterms are coming up. Ryan rubbed his head. Dude, the winter showcase isn't a couple of days. Maya's piano solo is always the finale, right? Get her a killer bouquet, man. Show her what she's missing. That jock won't stand a chance. After study hall that afternoon, Ryan and Leo were the first ones out, basketball in hand. In the hallway, they ran into Maya and Chris heading back to class. They were walking up the stairs side by side, really close. Maya never got that close to any guy except Leo. Seeing him, Maya flinched, a flicker of surprise in her eyes. Wait, I was just going to rehearse for the winter showcase, and we happened to run into each other. Her voice trailed off, getting quieter. Oh, Leo tried to act like he didn't care, bounced the basketball a couple of times, and continued down the stairs. Just as Leo passed her, Maya called out, her voice urgent. Leo, yeah. Leo turned to look at her. She was one step above him, so they were at level. Don't wait for me tonight. I have to rehearse for a while after school. She said quickly, then looked away, uncomfortable. What she meant was, don't wait for her anymore, ever. Softly, Leo said, okay. Chris, looking impatient, urged, let's go, Maya. Once they were further away, Ryan asked cautiously, still want to play? Leo shrugged, forcing a relaxed expression. Definitely. One-on-one, loser buys drinks. The day of the winter showcase, the school was buzzing. Just before Maya's performance, the darkened auditorium suddenly erupted with whistles and shouts. Go Maya, you're the best. Students around Leo started chanting, oh, get together, get together, get together, over and over, a rhythmic taunt. The teachers quickly shut it down. Leo's hand involuntarily tightened around the glow stick he was holding, almost snapping it. Ryan and the classmates around him looked at Leo with concern. Leo forced a "don't worry about me" smile. A spotlight hit the stage, illuminating the figure seated at the grand piano. Maya, in a white gown, looked like a graceful swan, as beautiful as a fairy tale princess. A light, melodious tune flowed from her long, elegant fingers. A gentle, beautiful smile graced her lips. It had only been a couple of weeks since they'd stopped walking to school together, but Leo suddenly felt like he didn't recognize the Maya on stage. Her tender expression, the soft smile as she looked down, these were all new to him, completely unfamiliar. Leo's heart skipped a beat. It felt like someone had a vice grip on his chest, squeezing it until it ached with a sour, painful tightness that almost stole his breath. Leo couldn't make out what Ryan was saying beside him. He just kept his face tilted up, a wooden smile plastered on it. Finally, as the crowd erupted in cheers and applause for her, Leo muttered something about needing the restroom and practically bolted, desperate to hide how wrecked he was. The principal was giving his closing remarks. Maya should be backstage changing. Clutching the bouquet Leo bought earlier, he decided to try one last time. Leo just couldn't believe that what they had was so fragile. If Leo just put in a little more effort, he was sure he could fix things between them. He reached the backstage area and pulled back a corner of the curtain. Chris's voice drifted out. Maya, are you into that guy, Leo, from the other class? No. Her answer was quick, too quick. Then what's the deal with you two? I heard people saying you guys were neighbors. Maya's reply was curt. He's just my neighbor, that's all. Chris smirked, wrapped an arm around her waist, and kissed her hard, just for a second. Then Maya pulled away. No anger, no pushing him away, just a blush spreading across her face. Leo froze. He thought he'd be devastated, but strangely all he could think was, the showcase is almost over, I need to get back. He turned and walked away, chucking the flowers into the nearest trash can on his way out. After that, Maya and Chris were an official item at school, totally public. No one mentioned Maya and Leo anymore. It was an unspoken, off-limits topic. Leo would bump into Maya occasionally, but they hadn't really talked in ages. Since the winter showcase, Leo had stopped bringing her milk. Whenever Leo passed her classroom on the way to the restroom, he'd see Chris and Maya sitting together. Ryan would always roll his eyes. If they get any more obvious, I'm going to report them for PDA. Seeing Leo's lack of reaction, he'd ask why he wasn't mad. My mom always said, focus on your books, son. Success is the best revenge, and it attracts the right kind of attention. Seriously, man, once I ace my SATs and get into a top-tier college, I'll have my pick of anyone. That's what Leo told him. Ryan looked at Leo with admiration, his eyes practically sparkling. Leo, with that attitude, you're destined for greatness. Don't forget me when you're famous, okay? Next up were the dreaded midterms. When the results came out, Maya's rank had plummeted. She wasn't even in the top. She'd never been outside the top before. Her homeroom teacher, Ms. Davison, found Leo looking hesitant. Leo, about Maya and Chris. I've spoken to them. They promised me they'd focus on their study from now on. I was hoping you could still help Maya out like you used to. I'm sure you don't want to see her throw everything away. Leo used to tutor Maya in all her tough subjects. He thought for a few seconds, then said seriously, Ms. Davison, it's senior year. I'm swamped with my own studies. I really don't have the bandwidth to help Maya. I'm sure after your talk, she'll be able to catch up on her own. Time to ditch the savior complex. Her destiny was her own. Leo wasn't a saint. He had no obligation or responsibility for Maya's academics. Her future was up to her. Ms. Davison sighed. All right, I understand. You can go back to class. Ms. Davison then called Maya's parents. That evening when Leo got home, Maya's parents were waiting in his living room. Seeing Leo, Mrs. Vance asked delicately, Leo, dear, we haven't seen you over at our place with Maya in a while. Did you two have a fight? They'd always jokingly called Leo their future son-in-law. Maya had never been close to any guy but Leo. Suddenly finding out she was seriously dating someone else must have shocked and worried them. But Leo could tell they hadn't really reprimanded Maya. In fact, after Leo shook his head and said they hadn't fought, there was a hint of reproach in Mrs. Vance's voice. Leo, our Maya is a beautiful girl, but she's very naive. We always told you to look out for her at school, make sure no one took advantage of her. Now you're still at the top of your class, but her grades have dropped so much. You're already doing so well. Couldn't you spare a little energy to help Maya? Then you could both get into good colleges. They didn't mention Maya's new boyfriend at all. Instead, they seemed to think it was Leo's fault she was slacking off, that Leo was being selfish by not helping her. They were putting all the blame on him. Before Leo could even respond, his mom jumped in. The main reason Maya's grades have dropped is because she's too focused on her new relationship. Leo can help all he wants, but Maya has to want to improve herself. They grew up together, practically joined at the hip. Why would Maya suddenly start dating someone else? It seems Maya's a bit fickle, both with her studies and her feelings. Leo's mom's words left Maya's parents speechless. Leo secretly gave Mom a thumbs up. She shot him a triumphant look. The Vances didn't get what they wanted. Instead, they left with their tails between their legs, looking thoroughly embarrassed. Life settled back into a new normal. Maya and Leo had gone their separate ways by unspoken agreement. No dramatic arguments, no tearful goodbyes. Just like she'd said, they were truly just neighbors now. Without Maya's schoolwork to worry about, Leo poured all his energy into his own. Besides studying, Leo even had time to shoot hoops every day. Life was busy but fulfilling. Today, Leo was coming back from discussing a problem with Mr. Harrison, their physics teacher, when he sensed a weird vibe in the classroom, a mix of tension and excitement. Ryan, Leo's desk mate, leaned in conspiratorially. Leo, guess what? We're getting a new student, and she's gorgeous. A transfer this late in the semester? How's she going to catch up? Leo asked, puzzled. Man, you don't get it. It's like those people who game the system for college admissions, you know? Get their transcripts padded at some fancy prep school in the city, then transfer to a smaller town like ours to ace the SATs and look like a superstar. What's that term for it? Like an unfair advantage. Ryan was still racking his brain for the right word. You mean like she's on a whole other level? See, this is why you need to study more. Leo tapped Ryan on the head. Leo, your reign as valedictorian might be over. I'm already mourning for you, man. 3 minutes of silence. Ryan clutches his head, still clowning around. Hey, it ain't over till it's over. Anyone could be a dark horse, right? And who knows, maybe she's the dark horse. Leo said confidently. Yeah, you're the darkest horse. The darkest in the class, no, the whole grade. Just before the bell, their homeroom teacher, Mrs. Albright, walked in with a girl. Oh my God, she's wow. I think I'm dead. Ryan gasped when he saw the new student. Leo looked up and his eyes met hers. She was wearing their standard Northwood high polo and skirt, with her hair in a simple ponytail and wispy bangs. The plainest outfit, yet she looked incredibly vibrant and youthful. A delicate oval face, flawless porcelain skin, and big round eyes. Class, this is our new student, Julia Lane. Please make her feel welcome. Julia's just arrived and might need some time to adjust, so I expect all of you to help her get up to speed with our class. Julia, why don't you take the empty seat in front of Leo? Leo, please look after our new classmate, okay? Mrs. Albright arranged everything smoothly. Leo nodded. Julia glanced at him gratefully and walked towards them. Yes, Mrs. Albright finally did something right. Ryan pumped his fist, whispering, then added, if she beats you for top spot, I'm totally okay with that. Get lost, traitor. Hi, everyone, I'm Julia Lane. It's nice to meet you all. Please, I hope we can all get along. Her smile was sweet, revealing faint dimples. Her voice was soft and pleasant, clear and pure. Whenever she didn't understand something in class or got stuck on a problem, she'd turn around and look at Leo with an almost pleading expression, and Leo would patiently explain it to her, breaking down the concepts. She was incredibly smart, a quick learner. Once she got used to all the teacher's styles, she started asking Leo for help less and less. But Leo found himself looking forward to those moments when she'd turn around, her round eyes looking at him, a hint of adorable frustration in their innocent depths. Soon it was time for finals. Over the past few tests, Maya's ranking had climbed a bit, but she was still hovering around TH place in their year. Julia, on the other hand, had steadily risen from an initial TH place to second. Leo was still holding strong at no. Ryan whispered to Leo, "Leo, you're making me proud, man. If you actually let this girl beat you, our school's reputation would be toast." "Whatever, dude. I'm making my parents proud. What have I ever done for your reputation?" Even though she was brilliant, Julia, like a lot of girls, sometimes found the advanced science and math a little tougher. After finals, Julia asked Leo what his plans were for winter break. Leo was about to say nothing much, but then Leo had an idea to tease her. "Winter break? I'm planning to hit the library every single day. No mercy. I'm going to outstudy every last one of you." Julia gasped. "Are you serious? You're not even going to let us breathe during break? You're insane." She thought for a moment, then added, "Nope. I'm in. If you can't beat him, join him." "Join what? Where are we going? I want to go too." Ryan, who'd been goofing off nearby, jumped in. "Me too, count me in." Other classmates who'd overheard Leo's library plans started signing up. After all, it was senior year. No one could afford to slack off. Everyone even came up with a name for their winter break study group, the Ace It Crew, as in ace every test, know every question. And they enthusiastically nominated Leo as team leader. They even defined the leader's responsibilities, taking attendance, penalties for unexcused absences or lateness, and, of course, answering everyone's questions. Leo instantly regretted it. Leo had just been trying to tease Julia, and now he'd signed himself up for a massive commitment. Is it too late to back out now? Nope, no takebacks. Julia giggled, covering her mouth. Winter break. Leo was just heading out to the library when he saw a group of people at the house across the street. Chris and a few of his buddies were ringing Maya's doorbell. Leo's parents had mentioned Maya's folks were out of town for a few days. A few seconds later, Maya opened the door. Leo glanced at her, then looked away. Leo heard Chris's laughter. "You said you and Leo were neighbors, but I didn't realize you lived this close." Maya just grunted an affirmative and let them in. After Leo had changed his shoes, he heard Maya's voice from behind him. "Leo, you're avoiding me." It was a statement, not a question, utter certainty. Leo almost laughed. "You're imagining things. What's going on between you and that transfer student in your class?" "We're just classmates, Leo." Chris, who had already gone inside Maya's house, leaned back out. "Maya, everyone's waiting for you. What's taking so long?" He shot Leo a knowing, slightly smug look. "Leo, I hope we can still be friends. I'll talk to you another time." Maya rushed the words out, and before Leo could react, closed her door. Leo scoffed, a bitter laugh escaping him. Friends? Neighbors? They'd never used those words for each other. When people teased them, joked about them, she'd never denied it. Leo had liked Maya. Leo truly believed Maya had liked him too. But now Leo realized Leo had been wrong. She'd just been using Leo as a shield, a convenient way to turn down other guys, and Leo had willingly played along, walking her to and from school, bringing her milk, tutoring her. She lapped up the attention, the feeling of being pursued and cared for. To put it bluntly, Leo had been her simp. She never rejected Leo outright, but she never truly said yes either. For the past however many years, Leo's life had revolved around books and Maya. Leo barely had any other close friends. Most people's first impression of Leo was Maya Vance's shadow, Leo. But now Leo was Leo Sterling, no? At Northwood High, not someone's shadow anymore. Without Maya in his life, Leo's future suddenly seemed brighter, wider. Now that Leo wasn't constantly focused on her, Leo had more time for himself, more time to notice the good things around him. She was used to Leo being her only friend, her satellite. Suddenly there was another girl by his side, just as pretty and even smarter than her. She felt threatened. She probably sensed she was really losing Leo. That's why she said she hoped they could still be friends, why she said she'd talk to him later. She was afraid her backup plan was about to walk away for good. She was trying to redefine their past as a friendship, leaving the door open for a comeback. Buzz, buzz. Leo's phone vibrated. It was Julia. Leo glanced across the street. She was standing at her window, a playful smile on her face as she gestured for Leo to look at his phone. "Leo Voyager, it's snowing." Voyager, that was her special name for Leo. She said it was because Leo always seemed to be looking towards the future, towards distant horizons. And because Leo's name, Leo, meant bringer of light to guide the way. It was their thing. Outside, the daylight was fading and snowflakes were beginning to drift down, but in front of Leo, he saw a brilliant light. The girl at the window had those lovely dimples, her smile radiant. Another message popped up. It's the first snow of the season. Make a wish. Leo looked up into her sparkling, shining eyes. Then let's wish for both of us to have amazing, bright futures. New Year's Eve. Leo's family and Leo were just getting back from dinner at a restaurant. As they waited for the elevator, Leo saw Maya. She looked like she'd been waiting for a while. Her face was flushed with an anger Leo had never seen on her before. Leo, I need to talk to you. She grabbed Leo's arm and pulled him toward the elevator. Leo's parents looked worried. Leo, honey, talk to Maya calmly. Don't get upset. The courtyard was full of kids running around with sparklers. Maya didn't stop until they reached a deserted corner of the community park. Leo stared at her shadow on the ground, wondering what she was about to say. Leo, was it you who told my parents about Chris and his friends coming over to my house? Her voice was frigid. Leo was a little stunned. So that's what this was about. No, she frowned. She didn't believe Leo. That day they came over, I told you I'd find you later, but you've been leaving early and coming home late every day. I haven't had a chance to see you. But that's no reason for you to hold a grudge and retaliate like this. It makes you seem really petty. Hey, talk about self-absorbed. Leo looked down at her, a slight sense of superiority washing over him. Before, whenever she was angry, whether it was Leo's fault or not, Leo would have bent over backwards to appease her. But now Leo just found her ridiculous, annoying even. Julia's name flashed on Leo's phone screen. Leo Voyager, you're not still studying, are you? She always called Leo Voyager. At first Leo hadn't thought much of it. Later, when Leo asked, she said it was because she was the only one who called Leo that, so the name was exclusively hers. At that moment, a flower had begun to bloom silently in Leo's heart. We all agreed to watch the fireworks together tonight for the New Year's countdown. Don't you dare bail on us. Seeing the message, an involuntary smile touched Leo's lips. His fingers flew across the keyboard. Whoever flakes is a rotten egg. Wait for me. I'll come get you. Aye, Captain. Leo chuckled softly. Leo. Maya stepped closer, her face near his. Oh, sorry, I forgot you were still here. Leo offered Maya an apology. Leo thought she'd be furious, but she wasn't. The look in her eyes changed. The anger from before was gone, replaced by an indecipherable hesitation. Leo took a step back. Believe it or not, I didn't do it. If I say I didn't do something, I didn't do it. I have plans, gotta go. Leo, this time her voice was soft, so soft it was almost lost in the wind. Happy New Year's Eve, she said. Leo waved a dismissive hand over his shoulder and strode towards the community entrance. Their group, a noisy swarm of them, zip along on their bikes, all members of their winter break study crew. Julia was riding with Leo, and they were at the back of the pack. At first, she just held on to the seat. When Leo was sure the others weren't looking, Leo took her hands and tucked them into the pockets of his puffer jacket. Warmer this way. She didn't pull away. Leo's heart did a little flip. Hold on tight. I'm speeding up. Through the thick jacket, Leo felt Julia's arms that wrapped around my waist. Leo had his hands in his jeans. Leo started humming a popular tune, and soon everyone was singing along. The riverbank was packed with people waiting for the fireworks. After much searching, they finally found a relatively less crowded spot. Perfect timing, too. They'd barely settled in when someone in front of them started the countdown. They joined in, shouting at the top of their lungs. Across the river, spectacular fireworks exploded into the night sky, painting it with brilliant colors. Leo stood beside Julia, one arm loosely around her back, shielding her from the jostling crowd. Suddenly Leo felt a warm breath brush against his ear and a sweet, fresh scent filled his nostrils. Leo Voyager, Happy New Year. May all your dreams come true. Julia was craning her neck, standing on her tiptoes. Her face was flushed red from the cold, her eyes reflecting the fireworks, making them sparkle with extraordinary brightness. Leo looked down at her and smiled, his heart melting. Happy New Year, Jules. And then the massive thundering booms of fireworks filled the air, one after another. Their friends were shouting out their wishes. Ace the SATs. I hope we all get into our dream colleges. Leo cupped his hand around his mouth and yelled, "MIT, here I come." Boom, boom, boom. The fireworks continued, relentless. Thump, thump, thump. Leo's heart raced in the biting cold wind. Their youth burned bright, blooming in all its glory. That winter break, cramming really paid off. On the first exams back, Leo unsurprisingly took first place again. All his friends from the study group saw their scores improve too. At lunch in the cafeteria, they passed the honor roll bulletin board. Ryan stood on his tiptoes to get a look. Hey, Maya still didn't pull her grades up. Looks like she was too busy with her love life. You and your girl Julia are still solid though, no? And, Mr. Number One, when are you going to share some of that academic magic with me again? Help me move up a few more spots. Get out of here. Haven't I shared enough? You've already jumped so many places. Thanks, Mr. Top Rank. Maya turned around. Ryan shut his mouth. She was even thinner than before. Dressed in her puffer jacket, she looked like the next gust of wind could blow her away. Congratulations. Maya looked at Leo quietly, her voice flat, without emotion. Thanks. The early spring air was still chilly, a breeze cutting between them. They were like two ships that had set sail on different courses, heading for different harbors. Someone ran up from behind and tugged on Leo's sleeve. Leo, Voyager, what are you guys doing? They're going to run out of your favorite chicken drumsticks in the cafeteria. Julia and a couple of other girls jogged past, Julia glancing back with a vibrant smile. Hearing that, Leo quickly grabbed Ryan and chased after them. Leo had run a fair distance before he remembered he hadn't even said goodbye to Maya. Leo glanced back quickly. She was still standing there, a solitary, fragile figure, looking more alone than ever. Spring turned into summer and graduation, along with the end of senior year madness, arrived right on schedule. After the last final exam, the gloomy, oppressive weather that had hung over them for days finally broke, releasing a downpour. Many students rushed out into the heavy rain, running, shouting, releasing 3 years of pent-up pressure. Leo stood under the eaves of the school building, holding out his hand, letting the rain slip through his fingers. Someone tapped Leo on the shoulder. So, what are your plans for the summer? Julia tilted her head up, a small smile playing on her lips, her dimples showing. Leo was about to answer when he saw Maya walking towards them. Leo said, "Getting my driver's license." You. Julia scrunched up her face. "My parents are forcing me to go overseas and play tour guide for some visiting relatives." You make it sound so awful. Maybe Leo should take that tough job off your hands. Sure you can. Maya came up from behind Julia, stepping right between them. Her tone was uncharacteristically gentle. Leo, when are you leaving? Leo hadn't even had a chance to reply. Julia tilted her head slightly, peeking out from behind Maya. She frowned, but her eyes were smiling. Her voice was plaintive. Leo, Voyager, I didn't bring an umbrella. Can you walk me out? Maya spoke at almost the exact same moment. My mom said to invite you and your parents over for dinner tonight. Let's go home together. So that was it. Leo wondered why Maya was suddenly being so nice. Her mom's. I don't think I can walk home with you right now, but please tell your mom Leo will be there tonight. With that, Leo stepped around her and met Julia's eyes. Let's go, Miss Julia. I'll walk you, okay? The umbrella wasn't very big. Leo tried to tilt it more towards her, leaving half of his own shoulder exposed to the rain. Julia subtly moved closer to Leo, their clothes brushed, and the umbrella covered both of them. Leo, Julia, they spoke at the same time, and then they both chuckled. She said, "You go first." Leo's hand, hanging by his side, lightly brushed against the fabric of her sleeve. The graduation party tomorrow. Are you going? Are you? Yeah. After this, who knows when we'll see some of these guys again? We'd all been in the trenches together, fighting for the same goals, working hard side by side. We'd built strong bonds. Of course Leo was going. The last chance to have everyone together like this. Then Julia will go too. Julia stuck her tongue out playfully. They quickly reached the school gate. Her parents were already waiting there. Come on, Leo, I'll give you a ride home. You can introduce Northwood's top student to my parents on the way. Maybe next time, my parents are here too. Leo pointed to his own parents who were anxiously scanning the crowd for him on the other side. Well, see you tomorrow then. See you tomorrow. Graduation party. The atmosphere was light and happy. With the weight of college applications and final exams lifted, everyone seemed physically and mentally lighter. Ryan and Leo, along with a few others, got there early. Julia texted Leo, Leo Voyager, save me a seat. Julia, might be a little late. Leo replied with an okay emoji. Ryan, sitting to Leo's left, leaned over to peek at his phone. Texting Julia again, huh? You two are seriously adorable. Get lost, man. This is private. Ever heard of privacy? Privacy my butt. Even a blind man could see you and Julia are just one step away from making it official. Exactly, someone else chimed in. But seriously, you two are perfect together. Total power couple, equally matched in every way. Their classmates chatted on. Leo just smiled and didn't say anything, continuing to text. What are you doing that's more important than food? You want Leo to come pick you up? Already on my way. My mom dragged me to the mall and made me buy a ton of stuff. Ugh. I'm so jealous. Crying emojis, more people started arriving. Someone tried to take the empty seat next to Leo, but before Leo could say anything, Ryan politely turned them away. He put on a serious face. Do you think just anyone can sit here, huh? Think carefully now. Who is this seat reserved for? Oh, got it. I'll sit over here. Faced with all the teasing, Leo felt both happy and a little helpless. Happy because it was clear everyone could see Julia and Leo had something special. Helpless because if they kept teasing them like this, Leo was fine. Leo had thick skin, but Leo was worried Julia would feel awkward when she arrived. The food was almost all on the table when Julia finally walked in. The moment she entered the private room, everyone let out a collective gasp of admiration. Leo didn't bother hiding the awe in his own eyes. Her eyebrows were perfectly arched, her eyelashes slightly curled, framing a pair of pure, clear eyes that sparkled like stars. Her flawless skin had a soft pinkish glow, and her small lips were a delicate shade of pink. When she smiled faintly, dimples appeared on her cheeks. She was breathtaking. Wow, Julia, you look amazing tonight. Yeah, Leo can't put his finger on it, but you just look even more beautiful than usual. Their classmates showered her with compliments. Julia accepted them all gracefully. My mom took me shopping today, and the lady at the makeup counter at the mall helped me out with a little something. It's all makeup. Well, you need a good canvas to start with. Exactly. No amount of makeup could make me look that good, a classmate said wistfully. Julia, you should skip the makeup from now on. You're turning poor Leo into a drooling idiot. Leo man, here, wipe your chin, Ryan said, handing Leo a napkin. Get lost. Leo slapped his hand away. After the party ended, their friends conveniently arranged for Julia to give Leo a ride home. Ryan and the guys had plied Leo with a bit too much to drink. The cool night air made Leo's head spin. After she parked, Julia carefully helped Leo out of the car and toward his apartment building. One of her hands was around Leo's waist, the other guiding Leo's arm over her shoulder, as if she was trying to carry him. It was both comical and incredibly sweet. The shadows of the trees danced around them, and the sound of crickets filled the night. Their silhouettes stretched and shrank again under the streetlights. Actually, Leo had sobered up quite a bit in the car. Leo can walk by himself. Leo tried to suppress a smile as he told her. Don't be stubborn, just listen to me. Her voice was gentle but firm, leaving no room for argument. Leo's heart melted into a puddle. Leo wished the walk home was longer, much longer. Just as they were walking, a figure stepped out, blocking their path. Leo looked up and saw Maya, her face a cold, stern mask. Leo, didn't your parents tell you not to drink? You've really gone downhill, getting this drunk. Her sudden concern was baffling. She shot Julia a reproachful look, as if to say Julia was a bad influence. You're Julia, right? Thanks for bringing Leo home. Maya will take it from here. Maya has a key to his place. Her words dripped with challenge. Leo saw Julia's eyes instantly fill with hurt and sadness. A pang shot through Leo's chest. Leo tightened his arm around Julia and said quickly, firmly, Maya, our relationship is just neighbors, remember? Leo deliberately emphasized just neighbors, not missing the flicker of panic in her eyes. Leo continued, Julia brought Leo home. If anyone should be thanking her, it's Leo. You're in no position to do it for Leo. And as for my house key, your parents asked my parents for it, so you could do homework at my place. You can get it back now. She stared at Leo in disbelief. Gradually the shock turned into anger, and her gaze hardened as she glared at Julia. Leo, you were never like this before. Is it because of her? What exactly is going on between you two? Since things were already out in the open, Leo might as well clear the air completely. Maya, Leo did like you before, that's true. But we both made our choices, didn't we? Leo hopes you don't need Leo to say any more. I get it. Maya just hopes you don't regret what you've done today. She cut Leo off sharply. Suddenly, Julia's soft hand slipped into Leo's. Leo looked down at her. She gave Leo a steady, reassuring look. Leo squeezed her hand back and said firmly, "Never." After that night, Leo never saw Maya Vance again. Leo heard that during senior year, Chris's actual girlfriend from college showed up to support him during finals week. Maya and Chris's relationship fizzled out after that. Leo also heard she didn't do too well on her college entrance exams and ended up at a less competitive state university. Later, Leo's family moved to a different neighborhood, and Leo never heard any news about her after that. The day Leo's college acceptance letter arrived, Julia sent Leo a photo of an acceptance letter. It looked exactly like Leo's. She had actually applied to the same university as Leo. No wonder she'd always been so secretive whenever Leo asked about her dream school. Another text followed. "Leo, let's be together." Leo's heart skipped a beat, then soared with an overwhelming sense of happiness. Leo texted back, "Hold on, a guy's supposed to do this." Delete that. Let Leo ask properly. Then Leo typed, "Julia Lane, will you be my girlfriend?" Her reply came, Let's see how well you behave, huh? I promise Leo will be on his best behavior." In a vast, boundless sky of their future, a beautiful and bright tapestry was unfurling, silently waiting for them to explore it, to paint their own stories upon it. The road ahead was long, but they'd walk it together, hand in hand, into their future.